another experiment that we would normally do in the classroom but cannot due to the COVID-19. So today we're going to be talking about properties. Not properties like land that you would buy, but properties such as a solid, a liquid, and a gas. So what we're looking at here is doing an experiment. We're going to have cornstarch, water, and you can do this experiment at home. It's a lot of fun. Many of your parents have probably already done it when they were growing up themselves. So properties with a water. Water is something that can take the form of any container that you place it in. Now, by container, it can mean multiple things. A container can mean a lake, where you've got the bed of the lake that holds the water. A container is something that we refer to as something that can hold something else. So in this case, I have a container of a glass bowl, and the water inside is taking the form of that glass bowl. You could also have that water be put in a star container, and it would be in the place of a star container. We also have a solid with the cornstarch. Solids don't always take the form of the container that you place it in. Sometimes it can, sometimes it does not. In this case, if I bring it close, you can see that the cornstarch is not taking the form necessarily of the container. There's voids inside that filled with air, but it's a solid. There's no liquid in it. There's no it's not hard, but it is considered a solid. So we're going to take this solid and we're going to turn it into something that you can go back and forth from a solid to a liquid with. So I have this other container here that's empty. It's where we're going to do our mixing and things like that. So we're going to work through that. Excuse me while I have to let the dogs out. Excuse me for that interruption. Sometimes we get that when we're teaching from home. All right, so I'm putting the solid, I'm just putting a little bit at a time in that empty bowl that I have. Okay, so I put about a half of that container in there. I have a measuring cup that has some liquid in it, so I didn't have to try and pour it out of the bowl. But I'm going to add that to it as well. And I'm just adding a little bit at a time because I don't want to get it too watery. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to stir it. And you should notice that it is hard to stir. It should not be super liquidy and easy to stir. If it's super easy to stir, that means you have too much liquid. And see, I have too much liquid. It's able to pour and run. And so that means I have too much liquid. So I'm going to add some more cornstarch to it. I might have added too much cornstarch, but we're going to move it around, and it's starting to get to where it's like just bunching up. And that's what we want it to do. We want it to be able to bunch up because this is what we call the oobleck. And oobleck is something that we always do in second grade. So now I can pick up this oobleck, and it's a solid. I can't move it very well, but if I let it sit in my hand, then it melts right down into a liquid again. And so it can run, it can move, and it's a liquid. So this experiment allows you to have something that's a solid and a liquid. The best experiment or thing that we have in reality for that is ice. Ice starts out as a liquid when in the form of water, and then it becomes a solid when it freezes as an ice cube. But if you were to boil it, it would turn into a gas because it would be evaporative and it's going up into the air. So all of these things are fun things that you can do. Take some cornstarch, some water, just have some fun with it. Enjoy, guys, and